Thank you very much, Mr. Chair and committee members. First off, happy Pride Month. Thank you very much for allowing me to present on Assembly Constitutional Amendment 5. I have notes, but I'm not going to use any of the notes just because this is very personal. As some may recall, back in 2008, voters of California eliminated the rights of same-sex couples to marry. And as a 20-something-year-old during that period of time, I remember the painful experience that has caused, not just to me, but so many others, countless Californians who were left wondering, what did we do wrong? Why would our rights be eliminated? Why would the majority of Californians vote to eliminate a fundamental, basic human right? This proposal before us helps to enshrine that marriage is a fundamental right. If you believe that interracial marriage is a fundamental right, that is what is before you. This does not change the definition of marriage. This fundamentally removes Proposition 8 from the California Constitution and enshrines the equality protections that we all deserve. We want what is equal, what is fair, to demonstrate the love in the state of California. And I respectfully ask for a vote and have additional witnesses here in support as well.
Thank you, Mr. Lowe. First witness.
Becca Kramer-Mauder on behalf of ACLU California Action, sponsors of ACA 5. While marriage equality is currently the law of the land, thanks to past U.S. Supreme Court decisions, recent decisions issued by the current court demonstrate a willingness to overrule its own longstanding precedents protecting civil rights. If the Supreme Court were to overturn its marriage equality decisions, marriage rights for California same-sex couples would be in jeopardy due to the exclusionary language added to our state constitution by Prop 8 in 2008. ACA 5 would put on the ballot a constitutional amendment to protect the fundamental freedom to marry as part of the existing rights to due process, equal protection, enjoyment of life and liberty, and the pursuit of happiness and privacy. This will help ensure that everyone in California continues to enjoy the freedom to marry the person they love, regardless of whether the Supreme Court revisits its decisions in Obergefell or Loving. ACA 5 is an important opportunity to reaffirm the freedom to marry and protect loving couples and families across California who deserve to have their marriages protected and respected under the law. Protecting marriage equality is critical for families and children who rely on the benefits and responsibilities of marriage. But it's important to remember that it will not end all discrimination against LGBTQ+ people across the country or the hateful rhetoric from anti-LGBTQ+ politicians and extremists, especially the growing attacks on the trans community. ACA 5 is, however, an opportunity to affirm that we are all entitled to live equally and with dignity. Our California Constitution should protect fundamental civil rights for all people, and ACA 5 will help protect the freedom to marry for same-sex couples as well as for interracial couples. For these reasons, we respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Thank you. Next witness.
Mr. Chair, members of the committee, my name is Francisco Castillo, a father of two beautiful kids, a husband, and a proud member of Equality California Board of Directors. I stand before you today with a fire in my heart and a resounding call for justice. I'm here to passionately advocate for California's ACA 5, a constitutional amendment that will not only protect my marriage, but will also eradicate the discriminatory language of Proposition 8 from our state's constitution. For nearly 4 years, I have been fortunate enough to be in a same-sex interracial marriage. It has been a journey of love, strength, and resilience. But throughout this journey, there has been a constant reminder that our love is not universally accepted. Proposition 8's declaration that only marriage between a man and a woman is valid or recognized in California felt like a deep wound inflicted upon our hearts. Love knows no boundaries, no gender, and no race. Love is the most profound and sacred emotion that two individuals can share. It is a force that unites us, transcending societal expectations and prejudices. And yet, despite the strides we have made towards equality, the shackles of discrimination still persist in our Constitution. We are at a critical crossroads today. We have the chance to rectify the wrongs of the past and pave the way for a future where love triumphs over bigotry. ACA 5 represents a significant step towards achieving true equality for all Californians, regardless of their race, gender, and sexual orientation. By removing Proposition 8's discriminatory language, we have the power to restore the dignity and rights that all loving couples deserve. Marriage is not just a legal contract, it's a celebration of love and commitment. It's a promise that my partner and I made to stand by each other's side, through the trials and triumphs of life. By embracing marriage equality, we demonstrate our society's willingness to recognize and celebrate the diverse expressions of love. We ensure everyone has the opportunity to build a stable, secure, and nurturing environment to our families, and we show that California stands firmly on the side of progress and that discrimination has no place within our borders. I urge each and every one of you to consider the tremendous impact of ACA 5 that it can have on the lives of countless of Californians like myself. This is not just a matter of policy, it's a matter of humanity. It's about recognizing the inherent worth and dignity of every individual, irrespective of who they are or who they love. Today, you can choose to embrace the passion and urgency of this moment. Stand with us, stand for love, and stand for justice. Support ACA 5 and let California shine as a beacon of hope, progress, and inclusivity. The time for change is now. The road is watching. Thank you for your time, your courage, and your dedication for a more equitable future.
Thank you. Witnesses in support, name and organization.
Good morning, Mr. Chair and members. Leanne Tratton on behalf of Black Women for Wellness and Strong Support.
Good morning, Samaya Nahar with the California Association of Marriage and Family Therapists in Support.
Good morning, Craig Pulsfer on behalf of Equality California, proud co-sponsor and strong support.
Good morning, Nick Cruz, California Labor Federation in support.
Good morning, Ryan Souza on behalf of the San Francisco AIDS Foundation and Essential Access Health in support.
Good morning, James Michael Okpala with the American Federation of State, County, Municipal Employees, California. Strong support.
Good morning, Priscilla Kudos on behalf of the California Faculty Association and the City of West Hollywood in support.
Mariko Yoshihara on behalf of the California Employment Lawyers Association in support.
Michelle Warshaw on behalf of State Superintendent of Public Instruction Tony Thurmond, proud co-sponsor and support.
Good morning, Genesis Gonzalez on behalf of Lieutenant Governor Lenny Kounalakis as a proud co-sponsor and strong support. Thank you.
Good morning, Serena Naran from Assembly District 6 and strong support.
Good morning, Molly Robeson with Planned Parenthood Affiliates of California and strong support.
Mr. Chair, members of the committee, Brandon Marchi with the California Medical Association in support.
Thank you. Any witnesses in opposition?
Move the bill.
Okay. Motion from Mr. Kalra, I think second from Ms. Reyes. First witness, 2 minutes each.
My name is Pastor Jim Doman. I'm married to my wife, Amanda, and we have 3 children. And I'm the founder of ChurchUnited.com based in Newport Beach. And I'm also representing our network of 2,500 Spanish-speaking and English-speaking pastors. I was one of the majority of the Californians who voted to add Article 1, Section 7.5 of California's Constitution, more commonly known as Proposition 8. I'm also a former homosexual. When I was gay marriage was not an option for LGBTQ people. My partner and I wore rings on our left hand, as straight couples do, but my partner and I wore rings on our right hand, like opposite of what straight couples do, to show we were committed to each other. Our gay marriage took nothing into account except our own selfish desires for physical pleasure. When I married my wife, Amanda, and we had 3 children, I learned that marriage is about selflessness. Marriage is about family, about my wife and children. It's no longer about me. Marriage is the bedrock of every culture and respective religions. I called each of your offices to inquire if you had a faith or religious background. Only 2 staffers were able to share their member had a faith background. Member Asaili, thank you, as a Muslim, and Member Sanchez as a Catholic. So I took a different approach. This committee's diverse background represents countries in multiple continents across the globe. And each of those countries have only defined marriage as a man and a woman. When a man cleaves with a woman, the two become one. The ability to naturally procreate produces the opportunity to have children. This fundamental and biological occurrence creates an environment for children to thrive. Sociologically, children are less dependent upon government if they have a mom and a dad, and they even excel academically in schools. I spoke with the Archbishop of the Catholic Church in California last week, and you shared that the Conference of Catholic Bishops also oppose ACA 5. That's 11 million Catholics in this state. Assemblyman Lowe, I ask that you would reconsider
Sir,
ACA 5.
I need you to wrap up.
And with your withdrawal your constitutional amendment, your 2018 bill 2943 was withdrawn by you on August 31st of that same year.
Sir.
When you advocated
Sir,
that bill.
I need you to wrap up.
Okay. I've got
everybody
a
has the
couple more
same
sentences.
Yeah, let's
Okay.
go. Everyone
But
gets the same
wisely
rules.
you withdrew. I exhort you not to screw with God, because God will not be mocked. This is the God of the United States Declaration of Independence, who is the God of the preamble of California's Constitution. And Mr. Lowe, this God loves you too.
Okay, thank you.
So members of the Judiciary Committee, on behalf...
Sir, that's more than we have rules at the committee. I went over them. I don't know if you were here at the beginning of the meeting. I went over them at the beginning of the meeting. Main witnesses get 2 minutes. You are well over that.
Okay.
I've asked you several times to please conclude, and you still have not. So
Then I will conclude.
We are concluded. Next witness.
My name is Sarah Sumner. I've lived in California for almost 30 years. I love this state and the people of this state. I was asked to appear today because I wrote a book called Just How Married Do You Want to Be? Plus, I have taught 2 different courses at Trinity Law School in Santa Ana and served as an appellate judge in Mock Court. I have also worked full-time for 15 years in 2 of California's universities. I hold a PhD in systematic theology, an expansive discipline that addresses the subject of how everything fits with everything. So here the subject pertains to how California constitutional law about marriage fits with what God has revealed generally to everyone at all times in all places. God has generally revealed that human beings are a unique species. Intuitively, we all know that people are distinguished from every other creature and every kind of object. No person is an angel or a demon or a vegetable or a beast or mere tissue or a machine. No person is an object. Because no one is an object, it is wrong to objectify any person for any reason on the basis of any argument under any framework. My argument today recognizes every person as a subject, not an object. Though we all have our subjective views and prefer to get our own way, at some level we all know that we are not God. Philosophers as diverse as Aristotle, René Descartes, and Jacques Derrida all agree that we are not God. The God who is has specially revealed that when a husband and a wife are married, God joins them together through the physical consummation of the male organ entering into the female vaginal orifice. Something spiritual happens in this physical union. Mysteriously, the 2 become one flesh. When marriage is defined as not between one man and one woman, the 2 do not become one flesh.
You have 2 more sentences to wrap up.
This observation that I'm saying accords with California law, Family Code Section 300, that says marriage is a personal relation arising out of a civil contract between 2 persons to which the consent of the parties capable of making that contract is necessary. Consent alone does not constitute marriage.
Any other witnesses in support? In opposition? Name and organization only.
Rochelle Connor, abolitionist, Frederick Douglass Foundation, California, on behalf of disenfranchised, unrepresented families and husbands and wives of color in opposition, respectfully request a no vote.
Reverend George McGehee, Oasis Christian Fellowship, I strongly, strongly oppose.
Pastor Tim Benefield of Cornerstone Baptist Church in Modesto, Central California, with strong opposition to this.
Pastor Donnie Wilson, Lighthouse Baptist Church, Moreno Valley, California, in strong opposition of this vote.
Brandon Campbell, Northern California Director of California Catholic Connection for Baptist Churches and pastor of the Faith Baptist Church in Wheatland, California, in opposition.
Chris Gregory from Faith Baptist Church in Wheatland in opposition.
Kaylee Gregory from Faith Baptist Church in strong opposition.
Christine Campbell, Faith Baptist Church as well, strong opposition.
Pastor A.J. Harold, pastor and representing Solid Rock Baptist Tabernacle in Los Angeles County, also professor at Pacific Baptist College, also in Los Angeles County, strongly in opposition.
Rich Miller, pastor, Victory Baptist Church in Atwater, California, in opposition.
Greg Burt with the California Family Council in opposition.
Ethan Lee, also with the California Family Council in strong opposition.
Thank you. Seeing no further witnesses in opposition, turn it over to the committee, Mr. Kalra, then Ms. Pacheco.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you to Senator Lowe for bringing this forward. I also recall Proposition 8 in that time period as a very dark time, and that cloud still hovers over our Constitution. I had the pleasure on Sunday of officiating a wedding of two dear friends of mine, both women. That wedding was a lot of love and love and support from family and friends and community that everyone should have the not just privilege but right to be able to share their love with one another. And our state should absolutely stand with love and not with bigotry, not with those that seek to divide, but those that seek to actually bring a loving community together. And so I'm grateful that the voters will have a chance and an opportunity to make it very clear where Californians stand. I believe that they will stand on the side of love. I'm grateful to have the opportunity to be able to vote for this. Actually, add me as a co-author. I noticed I wasn't, and would love to have my name on there as well. Thank you.
Ms. Pacheco.
So I just want to also thank the author for bringing this ACA forward. I also stand with love, so I would be honored to also be added as a co-author.
Any other questions or comments from the committee?
I'd
Oh,
like
sorry,
to echo
Ms. Pappen.
Assemblymember Pacheco. Please add me as a co-author. Thank you.
Seeing Mr. Saley.
Just a quick question, Mr. Lowe. I read, it's actually a very short text, and I noticed in there it doesn't contain a definition of marriage. So what is your understanding what the legal definition would be if this were to pass?
Thank you very much, Assemblyman. As you may know, this does not change the definition of marriage. It simply helps to enshrine the marriage equality protections that we're afforded with respect to interracial marriage and also same-sex marriage as well.
So is it your understanding that this would provide marriage between two adults?
Which is consistent with existing law.
Existing law. And existing law doesn't permit things like polygamy?
Correct.
Okay. Just want to clarify what your understanding of marriage is. Thank you.
Yes.
Ms. Reyes.
Thank you. Listening to the testimony, Assemblymember Lowe, on many occasions you've shared on the floor what you've gone through. And I apologize to you for what you have what you have had to go through your entire life. I would assume sometimes by well-meaning people, but to confuse Christianity with the kind of bigotry that we sometimes express, I think it shouldn't be in the same sentence. I think there are assumptions that same-sex parents can't be good parents, and our witness, I appreciate the testimony about being that loving parent. It assumes that you can't be loving partners beyond just selfish pleasures. And I think that once we get over these assumptions, we will recognize that love is love. So I thank you for bringing this forward.
Seeing no further questions or comments from the committee, Mr. Lowe, I want to thank you for bringing this. Very proud to be a co-author of this. This is another step on the journey to make sure that all of California's citizens and residents are receive true equality under the Constitution of our state. And so this is important. It's important to a lot of people to show that certainly in our state at least, which is what all of us up here are elected to represent, marriage equality will be recognized, will be accepted. And so I think this sends a heartening message to a lot of people out there. So thank you for bringing this. And with that, you may close.
Thank you very much, committee members. Is well recognized for your grace and empathy, especially when we're thinking about the fundamental protections that we should be afforded for all Californians, being stewards of public trust. Listening to the testimony, you may think that the clock is backwards, and we're going backwards in time and in history. As the vice chair referenced, the bill and the legislative proposal before you is quite simple, basic, fundamental. Do we believe that the state of California should provide fundamental protections to Californians with respect to interracial marriage, with respect to same-sex couples? Everyone in this committee knows someone, a loved one, a family member, who is a member of the community, and do we believe that they should be provided the same type of human dignity? And I would just implore those in opposition to find it in your hearts in recognizing where we are today and how we will help lead with the basic dignity and humanity that we should all be afforded in the state of California as a governmental entity. I ask that very sincerely, and with that, I respectfully ask for a vote.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. The motion is to be adopted to the Appropriations Committee. I'd ask the clerk to please call the roll.
Mainshine?
Aye.
Mainshine, aye. Asali? Connolly? Aye. Connolly, aye. Dixon?
Aye.
Dixon, aye. Haney? Haney, aye. Calra?
Aye.
Calra, aye. Pacheco?
Aye.
Pacheco, aye. Papin? Papin, aye. Reyes? Aye. Reyes, aye. Rivas? Sanchez? Sanchez, no.
It's out. Thank you.
Thank you.